Good morning and welcome to the Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Monday, April 8th, 2019. Looking at some of the highlights going forward this week. Today we have impacts fairly low. We will have breezy conditions across the area and some thunderstorms are expected. I'll get into that in just a little bit. We do have a flood watch out for now through Tuesday night, and that kind of speaks to Tuesday and going forward. We do have impacts of moderate. Again, we'll have strong winds across the Snake Plain, possible wind advisory conditions, also possible sheet flooding. That's why we have the flood watch out through Tuesday night. Thunderstorms will be a continued threat east of I-15, possibly tomorrow, and the cold front that comes through tomorrow will drop snow levels down close to valley floors by Wednesday morning. And then looking at the outlook, we do have low to moderate impacts continuing. The flood threat continues from sheet flooding to some possible rises, some strong rises on some area streams. We'll be looking at conditions much cooler and, again, snow possibly to valley floors Wednesday through the end of the week. So if we take a look here at satellite, we can point out a few things here. Here we are in Idaho, but we have this system out here in the Pacific that's going to be making its way east through the day today and making landfall tonight into early Tuesday morning. But what you can see too is this stream of moisture that's taking aim at the central Idaho mountains, and right now the mountains up by Stanley and the Sawtooth areas, they're seeing some precipitation and some high mountain snow. Otherwise, snow levels are about 8,000 to 9,000 feet right now, so pretty high for looking at late winter, early spring here. So if we get into the timing of the showers today, much of the area will be dry for the morning hours and into the midday. Still seeing some showers up again towards Stanley and the central Idaho mountains. Now stepping forward, we look later in the evening. Now this is just one model's representation, so this one bullseye of a storm out here in the desert may not exactly evolve this way, but we will have some showers and thunderstorms around, especially in the Snake Plain here. So we're thinking kind of from the Fairfield area, north of Shoshone, stretching through Idaho Falls, and if I step ahead one more time, step to about 1 a.m., we'll see that fill in across the eastern Snake Plain into the eastern highlands. So we're looking at possible thunderstorms well into the night tonight into early tomorrow morning. So with those, you could see some erratic strong winds with it, and possibly some small hail in addition to the lightning threat. So and there could be some heavy rain at times with that, but in terms of a flash flood threat, there is none with that. Now, if we look at the weather depiction, the weather map depiction for Monday into Tuesday, that system that I pointed out that was going to make landfall is now progressed into Oregon, and it has a pretty strong cold front, and that's going to be sweeping through on Tuesday. That's going to be bringing us more impacts, and I wanted to touch on those a little bit going forward. One of the main impacts is going to be the strong winds from Mountain Home down through the interstate corridor across 84 and 86 down into the Raft River area. We're going to see strong winds gusting close to 50 miles an hour in some places. So right now we're looking at possible wind advisory conditions there. We could see some strong crosswinds across I-84 down to the Nevada or down to the Utah line. Otherwise, we'll see strong winds through the Snake River Plain as well. And with that, I don't have that depicted on here, but we will see continued precipitation through Tuesday, and we will see it kind of change from a rain to snow, certainly in the higher elevations. And by Wednesday morning, we could be looking at snow falling across the valley floors in many locations, especially the east. Speaking of snow, broke it down into two time periods here through tonight. We don't have much snow, just some across the highest elevations of the central Idaho mountains. Otherwise, stepping forward Tuesday to Wednesday, we're looking at some minor accumulations, getting into maybe a little bit more moderate or heavy accumulations down across the southeastern highlands near the Bear Lake area and Emigration Pass. Otherwise, one thing I wanted to point out, we do have some snow painted into the Snake Plain. It's not much, could be half an inch or so, but this time of year, ground temperatures are pretty warm, but if we get a quick coating of snow, that could be a high impact event. So we could see impacts to commutes depending on timing. So it's something to pay attention to going forward. Otherwise, the one thing we wanted to point out, the expected liquid amounts. We do have quite a bit of liquid equivalent falling. So anything that falls as rain will be liquid, obviously, but anything that falls as snow, we do treat as, you know, how much liquid goes into that as well. So in the central Idaho mountains, again, they're kind of the bullseye. We're looking at over an inch of liquid, maybe even an inch and a half. So adding to some of the snowpack across the highest elevations, otherwise starting to eat away at some of the mid and low level snow, thus the flood threat that we have. And then across the Snake Plain, obviously we have a little bit less, but we're still looking at 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch through Wednesday. And then across the eastern highlands and southeastern highlands, 1/2 inch to an inch. So wanted to point out 2 of our hydrographs here. This is for, the top one is for the Portneuf at Pocatello. We're expecting it to get close to, if not right at, flood stage, which could have some impacts to Sacagawea Park. That would be about Wednesday time frame, but certainly the impacts could be felt a little bit on either side of that as well. And then down at Bear River near the Idaho-Utah state line, we're not threatening going to action stage or flood stage on this, but I do want to show that this is indicating that we're starting to respond to that snow melt and liquid that we're putting on top of that snow melt. So we're starting to see area rivers respond to this, so it's something that we're going to have to pay attention to going forward, certainly into the next week or so. The good thing is that we do have colder temperatures coming towards the end of the week, so we will start to see hopefully some easing of that snow melt. So that's a wrap for today's briefing. If you have any questions, please call us at this number here. Otherwise, check out our webpage and have a great Monday morning.